What's good, y'all? Well, it's my review for this week's episode of Attack on Titan. First off, I'm sorry about the delay of this review. Meant to get this out yesterday and do it yesterday, couldn't, got too late. I visited my mom, we had to go out for breakfast or lunch, Mother's Day, my mom picked out a place. Stayed at lunch, took forever, it took our food forever to get there. We were there for almost nearly 2 hours, almost waiting for the food. Then we got home, I finished up my Naruto Shippuden reactions today. I was working on JoJo, and that took up the rest of the night. So I meant to do this yesterday, but couldn't get around till today. So apologies, guys. But hey, here it is. Anyway, so overall, man, bro, this episode was fucking fire, man. I did not film a reaction to this episode, if you guys are wondering. Next week I probably will, because it looks like shit's gonna hit the fan next week. I don't. So yeah, maybe I'll probably do a reaction next week though. But ooh, yo. Also, fun fact, Zeke. He's voiced by Dio! Colonel Dio! You know? Because I was watching the episode, and this dude's voice looked legit very familiar. He was like, oh, Dio, I can't do a Dio impression right now. I don't even remember what the hell dude said. But I was like, yo, this dude's voice sounds very familiar. So go on now, look up Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. Go to find Zeke's profile, go to whoever's voice in the Japanese, press Control F on my laptop, and then I just put JoJo, because I was like, I swear to God, I think I might have known from JoJo. And then boom, I'm immediately met with Dio. And I'm like, that's where I know him from, he's Dio. The meme lord himself, Kono Dio da. So you know, little fun fact, so we got Jotaro voicing Erwin, and we got Dio voicing Zeke. And we're gonna have both those guys face off next week. Dio versus Jotaro Part 3, baby! I just found that hilarious. Anyway, enough and all, but that's some of the Annie. Bertolt. Woo! But enough jibber jab. Let's get into it. So we start this episode off. We actually start off with a bit of a flashback. We're back at season 1. We got Reiner. Well, not Reiner. We got Eren. You know, he has a massive boulder about to plug up the wall before we got to the Annie stuff. We see Reiner and Bertolt talking. They're talking about, well, what was Eren doing? Or Bertolt. So, what is Eren doing? If he keeps this up, well, you know, he might get eaten. We still won't know. If he plugs up the wall, that means he closes up that opening we just opened. What are we going to do? We'll still know nothing. Reiner's like, no, man. We're good. We've waited 5 years trying to find a clue. Now we found it. We're good. Even if I don't, I'll have to use my tie-in for something. And like reopen the hole that we've created. And then Marco. You guys might remember Marco. He was that guy that got offhand mention of dying back in season 1. You probably don't remember him. Hell, I forgot the man even existed. And so the dude's like, and we also know he was close friends with Bertolt and Reiner. He says, what are you guys talking about? You're my Titan? Bertolt, what's this about the hole we've created all about? The look on their faces. Especially Bertolt when he's like, Reiner? Bertolt, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, fuck. You know, he's like, oh, fuck. You know, he's shocked. He's like, crap, what are we gonna do? And then Reiner's like, Michael, that conversation you just heard, it was a joke. Huh? What are you guys? Have you guys lost it? Their tide's coming. Come on, move it! So he jumps off the building. God takes one more look back at Reiner and Bertolt. Joe's up, then keeps going forward. He talks about it, and he starts being able to put two together. Eren's a Titan. Eren can turn is a Titan shifter. Humans can become Titans. The colossal Titan just vanished out of thin air when it appeared, and then he's able to put two together that the armored and the colossal Titans are probably also humans in disguise. And while I think of this, Reiner comes out of nowhere, tackles a dude down to the like roof of the building, and he's like, Reiner, what is this? Is the joke? Reiner's like, the problem is, Marco, you're too damn sharp. And then Annie shows up, and I was like, hey, how's it hanging? I haven't seen you since the Lost Girls OVA, couple months back. Which you guys should check out. You know, I've reviewed that whole OVA series. If you guys are curious about it, when I thought about the OVA series, there are the videos. So, which is also, I will say, it's actually a really damn good OVA series. It really opened a lot. It was interesting seeing what Annie was up to, and the stuff with Mikasa really showed off how the relationship actually is between her and Eren. Anyway, and so you guys might remember I said in that reviews that they were probably saying all the good stuff about Aang's backstory for the main series, not this little small OVA series, which it looks like I was right, because Reiner then to Annie, she's like, Annie, help me, Reiner's lost it, and he's like, what the hell's going on? He overheard her, and then he says, he overheard our conversation, and then the look on her face, which, if there's one thing I gotta give props to Attack on Titan for, it's his facial expression. Like, Attack on Titan and the Promised Neverland, which speaking of the Promised Neverland, we had that episode dub, you know, shit, what was her name? Oh, fuck. Emma is talking with no, it's not Norman. That was the other guy. Damn it, his name is slipping my mind right now. Fuck. Okay, you guys know the Sasuke lookalike, Mini Sasuke. I'm just gonna call him Mini Sasuke because that's pissing me off. I can't remember his name. Okay, whatever. With Mini Sasuke, and she's like, never do that again. The dub work here was awesome. But I got a problem. The dub so far of The Promised Neverland has been fucking fantastic. I won't lie, I haven't really been paying attention to it that much because the reason when I'm watching it, I'm doing other stuff on my laptop and I'm not paying attention to the dub, which I really should because I really love this series and I should be paying a lot more attention rewatching it, see what new stuff I noticed with the dub and everything. But from what I've heard, before what I've seen, the dub so far is fucking fantastic. Okay, I'm done with that one. Oh, that's gonna piss me off. Anyway, so back to the episode itself. So she comes up, she's like, "You got me shitting me." Like The Promised Neverland, Attack on Titan are probably like the top 2 series I've seen with excellent facial expressions. And she's like, "You gotta be shitting me, you asshole!" And so then she's like, and then Ryder talks about this from when Annie saved Connie. She says, "You risked a little bit ago. You risked your life for Connie. Why? Have you suddenly got attracted to this I forget the exact wording he used. Was it filthy race? No, it was evil race. This evil race. Have you got attracted to this evil race? Why now? This got me thinking. Why would Reiner be calling humans an evil race? Aren't Titans an evil race because of what they do? You know, I'll discuss a little bit more about my theories around this whole evil, filthy race thing. And it's like, if you are letting your father waiting for you back at home, if you have not shown that you are attracted to one of them, you will do this and prove it to me right now. Take off Marco's ODM gear. Or do you somehow go in fancy to this filthy race? Do it! And Annie's like, fuck. You can tell Annie doesn't want to do it, but she's like, fuck. And then she's like, Marco's like, Annie! You know, and he's crying, everybody be crying here. And so she grabs, she's like, you did the right thing, taking down this filthy race. So then she grabs like the part that like has the exhaust on the back of that pretty much works as the exhaust of the ODM gear, shoves it throws it into the window, and they all leave, leaving Marco alone with the Titan that kills him. Now, from here we get something interesting. They all look back once Marco is getting eaten by Titan, and Reiner says, "Why?" And he's tearing up. Why is Marco getting eaten up? Now, this is the second time this has happened in the series. You guys might remember back in season 2, where when Eren got kidnapped and he was with Ymir, and when he was with Ymir and everyone, he suddenly kind of turned to a different person, talking about Marco, getting back with him and everything. You know, the stuff from season 2. And Bierto was like, Reiner, Marco is dead. Are you okay, man? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. What if Reiner has a mental illness? Now, I'm no psychologist, so I'm probably not gonna be using the red one. But what if he had some form of multi-personality disorder or schizophrenia, kind of, where it's not to where he has 2 separate personalities, but kind of like that? Because remember, before he was all about let's kill Reiner, we can't let him live, kill him, take off his ODM gear, and then a few seconds later he's like, why is he getting eaten? I think that Reiner might have 2 7 personalities that sometime happen. That kind of the second personality is the one that isn't a Titan shifter. Is Reiner how we thought he was like back in season 1, season 2, before we knew how he was a Titan shifter and he was the reason for everything that went down. So maybe because of how much he was into that and became that person in season 1, season 2, being this false idea of who he actually is, maybe that person now maybe that messed up his brain somehow, because we know this dude can shift his consciousness wherever he wants, which I'm sure probably isn't doing much fair. I don't even know how it even works. What if that is created like a semi-second personality within Reiner that kind of comes out whenever it feels like it, I don't know. That's kind of like a mini theory I got there. Is kind of what's happening with Reiner, that he might have like some multi-personality disorder or something along those lines. Because there has to be a reason why Reiner is constantly shifting like this. So that's definitely one thing. So then we get back to everybody there. You got Reiner, Bertolt, and Zeke all sitting on top of the on top of the wall, and then they're all chilling, drinking some coffee. You got Colonel Dio being like, I know, honey, he'll be fun. That's my best Dio impression of him doing English. That was fucking terrible. I'm not gonna try to emulate his Japanese, but I was like, when I heard this dude speak, I was like, his voice sounds familiar. So like I said, I looked it up and found out he voiced Dio. Anyway, and so he's trying to reassure Bertolt, because as we know, let's be honest, Bertolt has a thing for Annie from what happened back in season 2 to other stuff. We know the man got a thing for Annie. So anyway, so he's telling her, I'm sure she's getting tortured, because I don't know where she is, because if I remember correctly, she's stuck inside that Titan crystal-like thing. She stuck herself in there at the end of season 1, if I remember correctly. So she couldn't get so she couldn't even get tortured if they wanted her to. So she's probably busy, playing. She's probably busy, passing her kicks and whatnot. Don't worry, Bertolt, don't worry. And then he tells Reiner, like, hey man, you not involved in here, bro? You not fully invested here, bro? It's like, no sir. And then he's like, oh, by the way, next time you lose in your armor. And he's like, I didn't mean it like that, sir. So, they got settled record, like, okay, we're good. And then, you remember the Titan with the duck face? Turns out he can talk! And it's the weirdest shit ever. He's like, Master Chief Zeke. I mean, he had I can't do it because he had a voice modulator thing on. There was some editing that you could tell there was some editing in post with his voice. So I'm not even gonna try to emulate, but it sounded kind of weird, kind of mechanical, robotic kind of thing, like something you have like a voice synthesizer or something. Tell them the enemies are here, they're near the fort. So they're like, okay, and then they take one more, cheers with their drink called Black Liquid. And which, let's be honest, it's coffee. It's legit coffee. I mean, then when they have the little, when they have the little commercial break, they always show us something like what is known for, public memory. The type of black liquid, how it's related to the drink of time shifters, whether it can't be similar to black tea. I don't know what black tea is, unless it's just another name for coffee. But in the case, maybe they're drinking coffee. I legit can't think of anything else they would drink late at night other than coffee. Especially when they're staking out, waiting for Eren and the guys to show. So let's be honest, that's not that. I can assume, and they even say it's probably from another culture where they drink luxurious drinks. So it's coffee. If it isn't coffee, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to assume that they're drinking coffee. Anyway. So so he tells them that they take their shears. A couple hours later, once the sun starts to rise, Reiner kicks down the little coffee pot and comes down underneath the wall, and so then Reiner just starts throwing truth bombs at Bertolt, and it's like, all right, Bertolt. So we're all in different positions in their wall, and they're just running straight forward, just running up the wall, or not. Well, they're just running along the wall. Then they just keep running, and Reiner tells like, hey man, we're interpreting, so you don't. So try to think for yourself this time. He's like, I know, he's like, you don't have to wait for my signal. I know, he's like, yes, I know. He's like, To be honest, I never found you to be reliable. He's like, you have the strongest ability of all, which is, of course, the Colossal Titan, which we know is tall as hell, and it is pretty might as well be on fire, because we know they can't get near, because the mist is hot, the body itself is probably hot as hell, because it's, just exposed flesh, and we know it's taller than the wall itself. So we know that the Colossal Titan is probably the strongest of all the Titan shifters. We can assume that this one, that the Colossal is probably the strongest. Anyway, so then he tells him, they say, but yet you rely on everyone else to help you out and do it for you. I never found you to be reliable. He's like, I know, Reiner, I know. He's like, all right. So then they kind of stop. They kind of look, but they look onto their side of the wall. Reiner is, of course, inside the wall, while Bertolt is outside the wall. And they kind of do that they kind of hit each other in the back, where you'll be like, look, brother. He's like, yeah, you too there, Reiner. So then they jump, fade to black. We then come back, and Reiner and Bertolt is inside that cargo thing that weird Titan is holding. He's inside one of the barrels. And then everyone starts celebrating, like, yeah, we did! We defeated the Colossus, the Armor Titan, man! We good! We finally defeated Reiner! And everyone's celebrating. John is having some like, yeah, that's what you get, you son of a bitch! And then he looks over, and Connie and Sasha are both crying. And he's like, why the hell are you two crying? Come on, he was the bad guy, he had it coming! And Hanji tells him to prepare and start for the next round. And so then the Armored Titan kind of like moves a little bit, opens his mouth and just screams. Does that scream he did back in season 2, which of course is the signal for the Colossal. And then, okay, this part I was like, okay, come on now. So then the Beast Titan grabs the barrel Bertolt did and hurls him over the wall. Keep in mind, the man is like spinning around, and he's going at a pretty decent speed, because maybe 50 miles per hour, maybe? I don't know, probably a little bit higher, because he was going really fast. And he doesn't throw up, he isn't dizzy or nothing. I'm like, Rana, shouldn't you be, Bertolt, shouldn't you be throwing up like crazy, or at least dizzy and going at that speed, and you're spinning around a barrel? I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck, while he's spinning around. So he gets over the wall. Armin notices it, and he also talks about how that it's not like we never even had the opportunity to interrogate them. We are up against a foe we are extremely under-informed about. And, we could have made, and he thinks that maybe there could have been a way that this could have been handled differently, that maybe instead of us having to go straight kill Reiner, we might have been able to interrogate him, learn more about Titan shifters and everything, but we can't do it anymore. Mikasa is just like, whatever. So, oh man. So then Reiner comes in there, he's like, Bertolt, he's like over the wall at this point, he's looking over like, alright, where are you, Reiner? And then he finds Reiner, and then he's like, Reiner! It's like, it wasn't like in season 2 where he's like, Reiner! When Mikasa is throwing this face, where he's staring at the face of death, and Mikasa, remember back in season 2 and that look she gave him, when Reiner, like, closed up his neck, and that look Mikasa gave Bertolt, that she was looking into that man's soul. I remember that, man. That was crazy. Anyway, so he jumps on the barrel, is like, spins around. I thought it was gonna just shift it. I thought it was gonna just bite up and become the Colossal right now. But no, he goes over there, checks up on him. He's still alive. He says that he's transferred his consciousness throughout his nervous system now. It's hard to believe that could happen. And he also says that it's hard to that he's like, okay, and he's like, it's hard, and he said that it was only last majority thing he does, and it finds it hard to believe that they was able to corner Reiner like he did, cornered Reiner like they did. And he says, Reiner, I need you to do one thing for me. I need you to move a little. If you can't, I'm sorry, prepare for the worst. So then he comes over there, running towards where Armin and the rest of the guys are. Comes over there, Armin sees where he is. He tells him, hey man, this is our last chance of negotiation, let me talk to him. he goes up to like this little tower. Reiner goes into the tower that's right in front of him as well, and the guy tells like, Reiner, not Reiner, Bertolt, stop right there! And then he stops, and they're like, what? And it's just like, dude, we need to talk. And it's like, and then Bertolt straight up says, if I talk, will you agree to all die? He legit says that, and Reiner and Armin is like, Nani? Like, what? What did you say about that? Did I hear you right? Yeah, my first was like, he still catches. If I agree to talk, will you all agree to die? Will you all agree to perish? I'm like, what? And so then he tries talking to Bertolt. He's like, I've already decided. It's already decided. Non-negotiable. I'm going to kill you all. I am going to kill you all. And it's like, who decided this? He's like, me. Armin is like, what? I couldn't hear you, bro. You mind speaking up a little bit? He's like, it was I decided that I'm going to kill you all. You will all perish. And so then Armin jumps down to this little rope that's right below them. Bjorn meets him there. He's like, and pulls out his sword. And he's like, what's the rush, Armin? You want to talk, so let's talk. And so then Armin picks out his sword. He's shaking like crazy. No. Oh, no. Right before that, I just remembered this. Armin uses Annie again. You guys might have remembered, and Annie, he talked about how she was getting tortured or something. And remember that look Armin gave Erwin back in season 2. If you guys have been with my channel since my days back when I was reviewing season 2, you guys remember I had a field day with that line. I was, how crazy that was. So you guys have been there since then. Alright. So you guys might remember that. Anyway, so Armin tried to use that again. He's like, man, I was hoping I wouldn't have to hear Annie screams anymore. Man, those guys over at the military police, they're a bunch of savages, man. The only person that could stop them is you. There was this priest not too long ago where the military police interrogated this guy, and you know what they did to him? They ripped out all his fingernails and toenails completely while he was awake. Ripped them off clean. Oof, it was a nasty sight, man. There was that. So what do you think they would do to a time shifter? Hell, they might take a cue out of like casino. No. The Casino Royale wouldn't work in this situation. They're out of Joker's playbook. They could beat her with a crowbar. They might do it not so cleanly. They might do it brutally, slow, painfully when they remove her fingernails and toenails. Man, it would just be a fucking mess, man. I'm sure you would not want me to give you the details, man, but I kind of feel like I have to give you the details, man. They could do that. They could also maybe put some bombs if they're done beating her with a crowbar and just let her and then leave her to dead and just enjoy the fireworks, man. Those guys in military, they're a bunch of fucking crazy savages, man. So if I were you, I think twice about this. He obviously didn't say any of that, but he should have. I was expecting to bring up actually what happened with the priest, father. With the toenails there, they don't even bring that up. I thought he was. So, I probably gave you guys a more entertaining version of that scene. Anyway, so then they go down there, and she's like, fine by me, send her to the pigs. She'll be like fed, he also said that at this point, she'll be feed for the pigs. He's like, okay, cool with me, send her off then. So then that's when they meet up, and he says, I knew you were lying. Because I knew you were lying. And he's like, yeah, I might be the timid Bertolt, but I'm not done. I'm not going to fall for that same trick you did back in season 2 the same time. I'm not going to fall for that same trick twice. And so he's like, I know you're just here to buy time, having soldiers surround me, waiting for me while you have others going to take out Reiner. I know that. He's like, why are you still here? I wanted to check for myself. I wanted to know if I could survive. I wanted to know if I would be fine meeting you guys, or if I would start begging for forgiveness again. And he's like, you know what? I'm fine. He's like, I am. Well, you all are precious comrades to me. I'm still gonna kill your ass. And he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, it's because we all look like devils to you. He's like, no, you don't look like devils. You're not devilish either. I'm sorry, but you still have to die. You all still have to die. Then Mikasa comes out from out of nowhere and tries to decapitate him. Bjerto, by some miracle, manages to block it. And then, because the glides her sword up from her sword, and she goes using her other hand and slices his ear off. I had to pause. I had to go back a second time to watch the episode, and had to like go in frame by frame, just holding down the pause, hold down the spacebar on my laptop, and yeah, she straight up cuts his ear off, which, whew, that definitely did not look pleasant. And so she tries again, come towards him, sends her, like, one of her blades flying towards her, he blocks it, and he leaves. Armin goes to try to chase after him, Mikasa tells him to stop, and he's like, stop there, we don't know when he's going to transform. And then she kind of, like, adjusts her shoulder pad, and says, was that even Bertolt? Because he looked a lot different than before. Which we all agree on, because Bertolt here has changed a lot since we last saw him in season. Remember back in season 2, he was all like, Ryan, he was scared, timid, like waiting for Ryan to tell him everything. And of course, he was begging for forgiveness back in season 2, crying and everything. But yet here, calm and quiet as a church mouse, just sitting there chilling, like it's nothing. We get back to Bertolt. He's running, charging through there. We also see the soldiers trying to go over to the armor titan to fish him off. He is now laying flat on his back so they can't touch him. And then we see the inside of him a little bit later in the episode, and the dude's like eye is exposed. Like we can see some of his brain too. It's a nasty sight. So Reiner somehow still alive, but his body, yeah, I don't think he would. If he went back to his body, he'd probably die from like blood loss or a concussion or something. Anyway, so we get back to Bertolt. He says, I'm sorry, nobody is at fault. That's just how cruel this world is. And then he goes up into the air, Hanji sees it and says, her second command, I think. The dude that's always with her. She's like, yeah, Hanji, we need to get out of here. So they try to get out of there. Bertolt transforms. We get this big ass explosion. You would not be wrong to assume that if you thought a nuke went off here, because my God, we see like buildings fly around, buildings instantly getting demolished in the blast. Crazy winds. Mikasa is barely trying to keep on to Armin from his cave. John is struggling to stay on to Eren. Everybody's like, this is some crazy winds. Before we see the Colossal Titans all grow. Now it's CGI, obviously, for obvious reasons. I've been looking to say this would be a pain in the ass to animate with just the usual way. So of course they brought out the CGI, the 3D animation for the Colossal Titan here. Oh, and one last. Let me discuss my my little theories about what our Bertolt's talking about this world and why he feels the need that humanity needs to die, or at least humanity within the wall has to die. So, as we mentioned, as we saw through the episode, right, Bertolt keeps going on about, you need to die, humanity needs to die, humanity needs to suffer. He says, nobody's even in the wrong, this is just how cruel the world is. I'm sorry, but you guys still have to die. What I think he means by that is, now we know that there was some crazy stuff that going on, and we know that the original family, the royal family that were the original Titan Shifters, there was something that happened and they wiped everybody's memories up from what happened. That's when the walls were built up, and that's of course when this whole thing, this dinosaur. What if these warriors are kind of like maybe people that did not get their memories wiped, and they know what the original world of Attack on Titan usually was before the Titans came up and the walls and everything. So what if they know what that is? They told the guy that kept them up, kept them in secrecy. Then after they got to Bertolt and Reiner, and what had happened, humanity, it could be like something like the Matrix kind of, where where the machines view humanity as the enemy because of what they did. A lot of this is coming from the Animatrix, so if you guys have not seen the Animatrix, you're probably a little bit lost in what I'm talking about. My memory might be a little bit off with the Animatrix because it's been so long since I've last seen the Animatrix. But the Animatrix, we saw that cyborgs were created, humanity didn't like them, so humanity tried to destroy them once the cyborgs tried to, do their own little thing, and then they covered up the sky with blindness, and the cyborgs revolted, and that's how they used them as batteries, which of course they used that to power the Matrix and everything, as we know in the Matrix. So what if it's kind of similar to that, where humanity was what they did was a great evil, and they want to rid the world of humans because of what they did before the walls were built. Something along those lines. I think that's what Bertolt is probably getting at. Something along those lines. I'm assuming anyway. So, after the massive explosion and everything, we see the huge mushroom cloud. And I like that shot where we just see Erwin just looking at the Colossal. The scene was cool. We see Erwin, and he starts throwing these buildings all over the place. And Sasha asked, like, what are your orders? What are we gonna do? Or no. It was Mikasa that was asking. So what do we get? You're next in command. You're in command now. What do we do? What's your orders? And he tells them, okay, let's retreating back to command, and we'll go from there and try to figure out a plan how we defeat the Titan. And then Jin's like, wait, we can't do that. If he keeps doing that, then if those buildings that catch fire in the inner gate, that's just going to sandwich the guys we already have there, and that's going to sandwich between them and the Titans. So Armin's like, wait, we gotta defeat this guy here and now? Oh, crap. And then Hanji's and Sasha's like, come on, Erwin, Armin, what are your orders, man? What are you gonna do? What are our orders? And so we end the episode off, and we also see, this is when we do see, when we see Reiner afterwards, where his brain is exposed, his eyes are exposed. It was a nasty sight. I'm surprised that was not censored. Granted, we had that other Titan, Krista's dad, or Historia's dad, come out there, and he had, and like his intestines were falling out, and they didn't censor that. I don't even know how they did not get censored. But whatever the case, we hear this did not get censored, so I guess brains are all fine and dandy. We can expose that all as much as we please, but if we show, like, and it's, maybe it's probably different. Realistically, it's probably also different, different time slots that this had compared to something like JoJo, because JoJo gets a lot of censorship from a lot of grotesque scenes that's in Attack on Titan, but the Attack on Titan gets censored, so I'm assuming there's probably different time slots or something that both those shows have. Anyway, and now I'm getting sidetracked. So, anyway, so we end the episode off with Armin trying to think what he's deciding on, and then we ended up with Arwen. Yeah, Arwen looking over at the Beast Titan. He's like, "Was this your plan?" And he does that little scratching he did earlier in the first part of the episode. So I guess that's a little habit he has. So that was interesting. I thought that was a nice little interesting little callback there. Yes, that is the end of the episode. Man, this was crazy. 30-minute long review. Man, this is damn near Tokyo Ghoul Lady. Y'all remember when I did the TG review back in Ria a little bit ago, where that review almost was 40 minutes? Woo! So now here I am writing a 30-minute long Attack on Titan review. Anyway, so tell me down below, guys, what y'all thought of this episode. Tell me what your theories are on why. I think there could be something of great evil that made humanity. That's why Reiner's saying, or Bjerretal's telling them, y'all need that, or maybe that there's some prophecy, or something along those lines to where to commit to bring true peace and harmony to the world of Attack on Titan. Humanity must die. I don't know. There's got to be some reason. It just makes me even more curious on what the hell is in that goddamn basement, man. There's got whatever's in that basement, man. Whew, is it going to leave us speechless if it gives us the answers that we seek? But anyways, that is the end of my review. So my final verdict for this week's episode of Attack on Titan Season 3 is a 10 out of 10, guys. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Flickr. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
She's too bad.